What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to ask the question, how do you like dem apples? We got a bunch of Pokemon that we need to be having a little bit of a look at here, and they're all apple-based. We've got ourselves a new Appletun, we've got ourselves a new Flapple, and we've got ourselves a new Appletun. Oh, and for what it's worth, two new secret rares, two new illustration rares as well. Now, starting off very briefly with Appletun, we got wonderful Yukimori artwork. I'm a massive fan. As for the attack, I'm over 40 HP, we should say, straight off the bat. 40 HP, garbage. Single energy, heal 30 from one of your Pokemon. Not sure I necessarily want to be giving up a prize to heal 30, I'ma be honest with ya. And then 2 energy, a grass and a fire, 20 damage, flip a coin, if heads it does 30 more. No, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really a fan. I'll be honest, Appletun generally, it's a bit slim pickings, but at least we've got the one from Twilight Masquerade, for instance, which lets you search for a Pokemon, and we've got the lovely artwork rare version of it. Or the one from Twilight Masquerade that lets you flip a coin and if heads you do 30. Basically all the other they've all got 40 HP, but all the other Appletun are better than this Appletun. I'm sorry. But what about the Pokemon? Well, these ones, I like them a lot, honestly. I like them quite a lot. What we've got here is we've got ourselves a new Flapple. Now, fire and a grass, 70 damage. Nah, mate. Definitely not. Not a big fan. But we got single energy, and it does 20 damage for each damage counter on the defending Pokemon. So basically, you just treble the damage that's already on there. If they've got 70 damage on, you do 140, they go up to 210, the damage on them has been trebled. And actually, yeah. Like, this is not going to do anything as a first attack, alright? It's not going to work as it's turn 1, I need to get a KO on an evolving Pokemon even, or anything along those lines. That's not what this is for. What this is for, how this is going to work, is when you do, I mean, honestly, if you do like 100 damage, you just need to do 100 damage. And then this turns it into 300. Oh. Yeah, that's not too bad now, is it, ladies and gentlemen? No. No, it is not. And that is where I think this comes in so gosh darn well. So if you can do, honestly, even like, I mean, 110 damage will treble up to 330, and that'll be enough to KO almost anything. So if you can do like 110 with basically anything, this will come in and finish off. And I need to remind you guys, I only told you 2 seconds ago, but I'm going to remind you anyway, just in case you forgot. Single colorless energy stage 1. No, I do not like the fact that I'm evolving from a 40 HP Pokemon, alright? That's not good. But I adore the fact that I'm a stage 1 Pokemon that for a single energy can basically finish off anything. Yeah, that'll do very nicely indeed. Oh yeah, but while we're here, I suppose I should also show you the artwork rare. We got wonderful artwork rare here by Uranori. Not my favourite artist, although I do like this very much. It's just beautiful. I like this. I think it's wonderful and lovely, and yeah, it's a lovely artwork rare. We're starting to see a bunch of these in Paradise Dragona at this point, and I think this is lovely. But that's not all we've got. We've also got ourselves an Appletun. To spoil the surprise, no, there is no Dipplin, I'm afraid, just the 2 today. And what we got here is 2 energy, a grass and a fire, 130. This Pokemon does 20 to itself. Not a fan, frankly. Not a fan at all. But no, to be fair, like if you go first, attach an energy, turn 2, evolve, attach a second energy, hitting 130 before your opponent's had a chance to evolve any of those Pokemon. Now, I'm being a bit harsh to this attack. I still don't think it's good, alright? I'm not saying it's good, but I am saying there is at least a little bit of potential here. But what I really like is the first attack, 2 colorless energy, only 50 damage, but the defending Pokemon can as attack during your opponent's next turn. Yes. This one is awesome. And look, if you're playing against a deck that's got a bunch of attackers all set up ready to go, you're going to attack, do very little damage, they're going to switch or retreat, and then you're going to sit there and be like, brilliant, now what? But if instead they've only got one Pokemon, you've just shut them down, and then you win. Or if, for instance, they've got one Pokemon and they got a bunch of support Pokemon or Pokemon without any energy or whatever, this will work. Or if they, for instance, don't have any switches left and the retreat is too expensive, this will work. You can chance this, and sometimes it will work just fine, but I'm not looking at randomly chancing this. Randomly chancing this is not where I'm going. I like this where you can look at your opponent and go, you don't have a backup attacker, or you just don't have an attacker, and then you shut them down. That is where this comes in handy. And obviously, if you get to the late game, combine it with something like an Iono, for instance, and then your opponent literally is sitting there being like, well, now what? I've got like 2 cards in hand, I can't attack with my active, I have no switches and no backup attackers, and then you grind them down. Not saying it's perfect, I'm saying it's fun. Oh yeah, and look at the illustration rare. Now the regular artwork here is Kato, which you all should know by now, massive fan. But then the illustration rare here is by Minaminami Take. And I'm going to be honest with you, their work is starting to make me very, very happy indeed. You may recognize them, for instance, from the Blood Moon Ursaluna, the alternate art, or the Charmander that was our Elite Trainer Box promo, or maybe the Detective Pikachu promo card. Yeah, Take's not been around all that long. They've only really been around since kind of 151, but oh, they are making a little bit of an impression, ladies and gentlemen. I am starting to become very, very... In fact, I might start even collecting their art, honestly, because I think their art is absolutely stunning. But artists aside, I like both of these 2 cards, and it should be mentioned that they are both Dragon type. So you could look at this, for instance, as a Regidrago suite of cards, if you so wish. Are either of them good enough to make the cut? Again, they're the borderline uses here. Like the Appletun, yes, you can stop your opponent attacking. How often is it really going to be worth putting a copy in your deck? I'm not entirely sure. I actually like Flapple a lot more in Regidrago decks because you can hit with anything and then, hey, this is a nice kind of finish off. But then again, you've probably got other attacks that can do more damage, so maybe that's pointless. And maybe Appletun becomes a better one, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not 100% sure either of them are quite good enough, but there are things to take into consideration. As a pair, I'm going to go ahead and give them between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. I do think there is potential here. I prefer the art on Appletun, but I think Flapple is probably the better card here. But I do need to remind you that there's a whole bunch of options here. Like, for instance, Diplin. I still love the Diplin that came around in Twilight Masquerade, does 20 damage for each of your bench and can attack twice if Festival Ground is in play. And that evolves from Applin, so that is an option that we do have here. In terms of other Flapple, there have been a bunch, but they've all since rotated out. And the same thing with Appletun, although Appletun has had a lot less love than Flapple. Just putting that out there. Flapple's seen a lot more love than Appletun. But they've all rotated out. We don't actually have any right now. But you got these 2 together, and you've got Diplin. And for what it's worth, there is actually a second Diplin in Twilight Masquerade. Good news, Okacheke artwork, phenomenal. Bad news, 2 energy, switch in an active and do 70. And to be fair, 70 damage will KO a bunch of support Pokemon and evolving basics, things like Manaphy. So you can use this to prey on bench Pokemon a little bit. Maybe there's an Apple deck around here somewhere. Maybe none of them are quite good enough right now. But I think there is a bit of potential here. And look, we got 2 new Pokemon to have a look at here, with an illustration rare each, and there is at least a little bit of potential here, and that makes me happy. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Dojo, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.